Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my February wrap-up video, and this is going to be a pretty short video because let's just say the month of February did not go as planned. So for the month of February, I was reading fantasy, as you all know, and I ended up reading only 3 out of the intended 6 books on my TBR. And one of those books was not even fantasy. One of those books was a new release that I had talked about that I had to read because it was coming out in February, and I had to conclude the series. You guys know what I'm talking about. So I really only read 2 fantasy books, and that is just so devastating to me, but it is what it is. If you guys watched my last video, you know that I was sick. I had the flu. There was just no reading going on for a good week and a half. I hate that I didn't fulfill my fantasy February TBR, but that does not mean I'm not going to read any more fantasy this year. I will definitely make up for it, and I will be reading the books that I did not read at a later date. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys what I did end up reading. So the first book that I read and finished in February was Ignite Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is the 3rd and final book in the Shatter Me trilogy, and it was outstanding. 5 out of 5 stars. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this book because I literally can't say anything about it without spoiling the other 2, but I will say it was just a really great conclusion to the series. I will admit the ending was very kind of anticlimactic. Not what I was expecting, but everything else in the book was amazing. So I still gave it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and I loved it. Look. This is a whole packet of those sticky things. A whole packet. Right there. It's a really good dystopian, and it's also a really good kind of romance. Tahereh Mafi, if I'm saying her name right, I don't know. She is so poetic, and she just writes, I'm just gonna say it, she writes love scenes, really good love scenes. Don't lie. You guys know that one of the reasons you love this so much was for chapter 52. I'm just saying. I think it was chapter 52. The next book that I read and finished in February was A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. This is the 3rd book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, and it was amazing. This is hands down, oh my gosh, wait. I really enjoyed Ignite Me, I did. But this is my favorite book of February. There was just so much that happened in it. I mean, if you watch season 3 of Game of Thrones, you know, because the first half of this book is season 3, you know what went down. But if you haven't read the whole book, like if you want to be prepared for season 2 of Game of Thrones, read the last half of this book. I cannot even. A Song of Ice and Fire takes place in an epic fantasy world known as Westeros, and Westeros is going through hard times, basically. There are so many people, so many different families that are trying to obtain the throne and become the ruler of all 7 kingdoms. And it kind of sets off whenever the true king of Westeros is murdered. And from there, you know, the king's family obviously you would think they would be the rightful heir to the throne. Let's just say the bloodline isn't pure in that family. We'll just say that. There's new alliances, there's betrayals, there's death. Of course, there's death. It's George R.R. Martin. But it's so great. And this one is my favorite of the series, and I cannot wait to continue. I cannot wait to continue with the series. And the final book that I read in February was Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book follows an assassin named Celaena Sardothien. She has a past that is not clear at first. She's a mysterious character, and it takes a while to get to know how she came to be, how she became to be an assassin, and how she obtained that title. She is an assassin who has been in a kind of like a concentration camp of sorts for the past year because of her crimes, and she is taken out of her imprisonment to become a warrior in a competition that is being held by the king. If she can make it through this competition, she will win her freedom. But before that can happen, all of the other competitors slowly start dying off in horrible, grisly ways, and Celaena has to figure out what's killing them off. She has to figure out how to save herself, and she has to figure out how to ultimately win the competition to win her freedom. Everyone really loves this book. And I'm not saying I didn't love it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting a bit of a more hardcore character. I was just expecting a little more Elizabeth Salander, a little less Buffy Summers. I did enjoy this book, don't get me wrong. I did enjoy it, and I will be picking up the sequel. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. In the comments below, you guys can let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them, and also let me know what you read during February. Hopefully you guys had a better reading month than I did, because I'm a failure.